In this video, we're going to be looking at a single subject PowerPoint presentation template. Now, while the focus of this particular template is on coffee, it is in no way, shape, or form a presentation template for coffee alone. You can change and adapt this template to whatever you want to use it for. I just decided to use coffee as a subject to kind of demonstrate how this template will look like in practice. So instead of using lorem ipsum text where you be confused, where do I put what, you can kind of see it in practice where specific topics go where and how you structure it or place elements around them. You can use it for maybe, let's say, tea, let's say wine, photography, maybe tourism, whatever subject you want to describe that requires a certain level of detail and you are focusing on just one specific subject. But yeah, enough talking, let's just get right into it. So I already have PowerPoint open. You can go ahead and launch it, and I've created a blank presentation. I'm going to select this tool and I'm going to delete it. What I'm going to do next is insert an image. So I'm just going to grab one of my images, we'll use some images from the stock library and we'll use some images from external sources. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab this image and I'm going to bring it into my presentation. Open crop, and I'm going to grab this handle on the right, move it here, grab this one on the left, and I'm going to move it here, go back to crop, set it to fill, and I'm going to click on escape, and we have this. Next, let's insert a shape. So I'm already in the home. I'll just go to shapes and I'll grab a rectangle and I'll just draw one here. Let's change the height to 25 and the width is going to be 21. Now let's remove the outline, set it to no outline, and what we're going to do now is rotate this shape. So I'm just going to grab this handle here and rotate the shape till I have, let's see, something like this, and I'm going to move this around till I have this rectangle here, so something like this. Now let me zoom out a bit. I'm going to trim these edges, so I'm just going to insert another shape just randomly and a rectangle. Obviously I'm going to just increase this and I'm going to create a copy. So bring one here, move it till it's at the top of this rectangle, select this rectangle first, select this one next, go to the merge options and then subtract. Grab this rectangle again, create another copy, this time bring it to this side and move it to this edge and just move it till it covers the section you want to remove. Select this rectangle first, select this one, go to the merge options and subtract. This tab, just in case I didn't say it, this tab is under the shape format. And finally, just grab this rectangle, we don't need another one. Let's bring this here and I'm going to select this one first and this one next, go to the merge options, subtract, and we've trimmed down this rectangle. Now right click, go to shape format. Now we're going to go to fill, go to more colors, and I can open my notes. I'm going to grab, this is the color we're going to use for this presentation. I'm going to just go ahead and paste it here. So the code is 2E17OC. I'll probably put it in the description if I didn't. Yeah, this is it. So okay, and we have this. Let's just reduce increase the transparency to 5%, and yeah, let me reduce it back to the full view, and we have our the background per se. So now we can add our text. The heading text is going to be, let's say go to insert text box, and the text is the world of coffee, and I'm going to just draw this here and I'm going to paste. So select the text box. I'm going to change the font to Chamberry Super Display. This is it, and size is going to be 88 and color is going to be white. And I'm going to increase this till we have 3 lines of text here, and I'm just going to move it, and PowerPoint is kind of making some sort of indication, so I'm just going to leave it there. Let's add another text box for our subtitle. So I'm just going to grab the text this time first, and I'm going to go to insert text box, paste in our text, and the subtitle font and as well as our body font is going to be Georgia. So I'm just going to search for that, and I'm going to use this. Once again, color is white and the size is going to be 24. Now I'm just going to extend this so we have text on 2 lines, maybe even more, and I'm going to bring this closer. Okay, PowerPoint is kind of indicating that that's fine, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So we are essentially done with our title slide. So let's just take a moment to see it in the slideshow, and I'm going to open that, and yeah, this is our title slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So I'm just going to go to new slide, and I'm going to create a blank slide. So quickly, we're just going to insert a shape. I'm going to go to shapes, rectangle, and I'm just going to draw rectangle, remove the outline, change the fill to brown color, and the height is going to be 16 and the width is going to be 30.85, and I'm going to center it on our slide. Next, it's going to be a text, so I'm going to go to insert text box, and let me grab my text. I'm going to copy the heading, which is introduction, and I'm going to paste this here. I'm going to change the color to white, change our heading to Chamberry super display, and the size is going to be 44. And I'm just going, let me just move it here for now. We may move it as time goes on depending on the size of the other text. So I'm going to just create a copy of this using Control. Go back to our notes. I'm going to grab my text, copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. Now let's format this. Oops. I'm going to select this. Let's change this to Georgia. Size is going to be 24. And I'm going to increase the width of this. And finally, while this text box is selected, let's make it a bullet point. And we have these 3 items. I don't like the spacing, so let's give it more space because it feels a bit, well, I say tight. I'm going to just go to spacing, and we're going to make it 1.5. Now, just grab this and let's move it down a bit, and PowerPoint is kind of indicating, oh, the spacing around everything is the same, is okay from the top and the bottom. And I'm just going to leave the length like this. If you want to extend it, you can extend it, but I don't want it to be, how will I say, it's just maybe 1 line or so. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. But yeah, let's take a moment to look at it in a slideshow. And yeah, we're done with this slide. It's very quick, very simple. Let's move on to the next slide. So once again, go to new slide, insert a blank slide. Let's format the background and change it to that brown color. I'm going to grab an image, and I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to bring it in. And I'm just going to move this to the side all the way to the right. And I'm going to insert a shape. So go to insert and go to shapes. We're going to insert a rectangle, and I'm just going to select draw a rectangle, remove the outline, and we're going to change the fill to white. Let me go to the selection pane, and I'm going to bring this rectangle underneath the image, and we'll have it this. So let's check the dimensions of our rectangle. So I'm just going to go over here, and the height will be 15.5 and the width is going to be 20. I'm going to center it like this, and I'm going to just use my arrow key to kind of nudge it a bit to the right, to the left, sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and insert my text. I'm going to go to insert and text box. Let me grab my title for this slide, which is history of coffee, and I'm just going to paste it here. Now let's change the font to Jamberry Super Display. Size is 44, and I'm going to increase the width of this so that it fits better. I'm just going to grab a copy of this using Control, and I'm going to change the font to Georgia. Size is going to be 20. Let me go to my notes, grab the text for history of coffee, and I'm going to paste it here. Now let's extend this. Let's make this entire thing a bullet point, and we're going to increase the line height to 1.5 again, and I'm going to just extend it till we have, you know, this, and I'm just going to move it around and see. Yeah, let me just select this, so let me align them to the left. So I'm going to select both text, go to arrange, and then align left so that the heading and the body text will be aligned properly. Okay, so let's check it in the slideshow. I'm just going to open this, and this is our slide for the history of coffee. You can pause the video if you want to take a moment to read it, but yeah, this is it. Let's create the next slide. So go to new slide and insert a blank slide. Now I'm going to go again, and I'm going to grab our image, and I'm just going to bring it in. While our image is here, the height is fine. I'm going to crop the image, so I'm just going to crop, and I'm going to move this handle till I have it at around 19. So just keep your eyes here till you have something around 19. So it's 19.18. Maybe I should, that ended up being too small. I want it to be within the 19 range. Okay, close enough. Let me move it slightly, and all right, it's 19.07. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm holding shift down so that the image won't move. So I'm going to move this in here till I have this edge right around here, and I'm going to click on escape. Now select the image, go to picture format, and I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to flip horizontal, and I'm going to just bring it all the way to the left. Now let's insert a shape. I'm going to go to insert shape, and I'm going to insert a rectangle, and I'll just draw it. We'll figure out the other dimensions. Remove the outline and change the fill to that brown color, and make the transparency 5%. Now let's change the dimensions. The height is going to be 16, and the width is going to be 19. And I'm going to center it, then move it to the right, and then kind of have it, let's say, somewhere here. And we're done with the background for this particular slide, let's go ahead and insert our text. So I'm going to go to insert text box, and I'm going to, the next slide is coffee plants and varieties. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to draw a text box, and I'm going to paste. Select the text box, change the font to Jamberry Super Display. Color is going to be white, size is going to be 44. Let me increase the width till I have everything in one line, and I'm trying my best to just, yeah, I'm going to move it to the box. We're going to align it later. I'm just going to center that. Now I'm going to use Control and Shift, or you can just use Control to create a copy. Now we're going to change this to Georgia. We're going to make the size 20, and the alignment is going to be to the left. Let's go in and grab our text. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste that here. Select the entire text box, and we're going to make this a bullet points. So for these two, that's Arabia and Robusta, I'm going to select them and press tab, and now there will now be bullet points under this bullet point, which is two primary species. Select the text box again and go to line spacing, make it 1.5. And I'm going to select these two text boxes and I'm going to group them. While this group is selected, select this rectangle, go to arrange, align, align center, arrange, and align. We're going to align middle. And yeah, that's it. Let's take a moment to look at it in the slideshow. And yeah, we're done with this slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So once again, let's create a new slide and I'm going to insert a blank slide. I'm going to go to my images and this time I'm going to use this one and I'm going to just bring it into my presentation. I'm going to crop this. So what I'm going to do is go to crop and I'm going to move this handle by the right to the edge and move this one on the left to the edge as well. And I'm going to go back to my crop options and I'm going to set it to fill, and I have this and I'm going to click on escape to have this image on the background. Now I'm going to select this image, copy it, and I'm going to go to the background and I'm going to set it as picture or texture fill and then select clipboard. So you can choose whichever one you want to do when you're creating your presentations. If you want to have the image just on the background, you can do this, or you could, just have it there. But I'm going to delete the image. Now I'm going to insert a shape. So I'm already in the home tab. I'm going to go to shapes, select a rectangle, and I'm just going to draw one here. I'm going to remove the outline and I'm going to change the fill to brown color. And I'm going to move it here till, let's say it's about here, and I'm going to change the height to 17 and the width is going to be 22, and we have this. Next, let's insert our text. So I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to select text box. Let's go to our text. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste. Select the entire text box, change the color to white, change the font to Chambéry Super Display, size is 44. I'm going to increase the width of this and let me just move this over to the side. I'm going to use my arrow key to just kind of bring it down. Before I move further, let me increase the transparency of this box. I'm going to make it 5. Okay, that looks better. I'm going to just go ahead and create a copy of this text box instead of creating a new one, and I'm just going to use Ctrl and Shift to create a new text. Let me change this to Georgia and the size is going to be 20. Next, let's go and grab our text for this particular presentation, and this is going to be our text. Minimize, and I'm going to paste it. Next, let's do some formatting. Let's select the text box, make it a bullet point, and I can now go ahead, make cultivation bold, make harvesting bold, make processing bold. Now you see this wet method, dry method, and roasting. Select those three and then use tab. Now there will be bullet points under processing. And finally we have grinding and brewing, make it bold also. Let's select the text box, go to line spacing, make the line space 1.5. Now increase the width of the text box till you have this. Now I'm going to just move this closer to the title. Now we can select both of them and I'm just going to go to arrange, align, and I'm going to align left, and then I'm going to group. Select while it's selected, select that rectangle, go to arrange, align center, arrange, go to align once more, align middle. And yeah, we're done with this. Let's see it in the slideshow. And yeah, this is the presentation. This is the slide for coffee production process. Let's move on to the next slide. So go to new slide and we're going to insert a blank slide. Let's start with a rectangle. So I'm in the home tab. I'm going to go to shapes, going to select rectangle, and I'm just going to draw one here. Remove the outline, make the fill a brown color, and I'm going to bring this here. Now the height, let's just increase it till it covers the entire height of the slide, and the width is going to be 6. Next is an image. I'm going to go ahead and grab my image, which is this one, and I'm just going to have that. Let me change the height first. The height is going to be 15, and as for the width, I'm just going to select crop, and I'm going to have it within, let's say, somewhere between 11 and 12, 11.5 or 12. So I have it at 11.4. You know what, let's leave it like that. I'm going to use shift. I'm holding shift while I do this so that I'll try and have my image not move around as I'm trying to center it properly, and I want the focus to be on this coffee cups, and I'm going to use escape and close that. Now grab the image and center it. I'm also going to move it to the left around, let's see, like that. And now we can go ahead and add our text. Go to insert, and we're going to insert a text box. Let's grab our text. The next slide is going to, this slide is going to be brewing methods, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go ahead and paste that here. I'm going to change this to heading text, which is Chamberry Super Display. Size, of course, is 44. I'm going to increase the width. Let me bring this, let's say here. We may still have to move it around, but for now, let's just kind of place it there. And I'm going to use Control and Shift to create a new text box. I'm going to change this to Georgia. Size is going to be 20. Let's go ahead and grab our text. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to select everything there and then paste. Select the text box. We're going to make it a bullet point. Now I'm going to select this, make it bold, select French press, make it bold, espresso, bold, pour over, same with cold brew, and finally, okay, this one has nothing there, so I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to change the line height to 1.5, and I'm going to increase the width of this text box till we have something like this. And I'm just going to, let me just kind of move this text up a bit, and just to make sure I want them, okay, they are aligned to the left, and this looks fine. So let's take a moment to look at it in the presentation. Or you know what, this feels kind of, will I say tight? It's, yeah, let me just reduce that a bit. All right, let me move this up. That's just how it goes. You kind of look at things. If it feels like there's imbalance, change things, move things around. Yeah, now let's look at it in the slideshow. I'm going to open it, and yeah, this is brewing methods for our presentation. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So once again, go to new slide, insert a blank slide. We're going to start with a shape. So I'm just going to go to shapes, rectangle, and right around here, I'm just going to draw this rectangle. Remove the outline, change the fill to that brown color. Now the height currently is 2.38. You can I'll just let me change it to 2.5, and the width is going to be 14. And I'm just going to maybe move it around here. Next is going to be an image, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab an image, and the image is going to be this one, and I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to use crop to extend it for the entire length of our slide, and I'm going to do this and go to fill. Before I close this dialog, I'm going to just grab this handle till I have the height of this image to around 7 point. I want it to be around like, it's currently okay 7.51. Let's say around that 7.5 7.6 range. That's what I'm going for. I'm just going to move this in like this until I have something like this, and I'm going to use escape to close this. Now for this rectangle, maybe I'll just move it slightly to the left. Let me use my arrow keys. May still have to move it, but for now that's where it's going to be. Let's go ahead and insert our text. So let's go to insert, and we're going to select text box. Let's copy the title for this side, and I'm just going to draw it around here. I'm going to paste. I'm going to select it, change it to Jamberry Super Display, and size is going to be 44. Increase the width so that everything will fit. And I'm just going to maybe move this over to the side, and I'm going to select this rectangle and move it to the right also. And I'm going to select this. I'm going to just create a copy instead of inserting a new text box. Let's change this to Georgia, and size is going to be 20. Let's go back to our text. I'm going to copy this first block of text, and I'm going to paste it here. I'm just going to create another one here, so I will have where to paste our second block of text. And let's copy this, and we can just go ahead and paste this here. Let's start with this. Let's format this one on the right. So select this, make it bold, and select caffeine, make caffeine bold. Antioxidants, make it bold. Now select these 3 items and make it a bullet point. Select the entire text box, increase the line height to 1.5. Let's do the same for this one. Select this, make it bold. Select benefits, make it bold. Risks, bold. And finally, let's select these 2 items, make it a bullet point. Select the entire text box and increase the line height to 1.5. Now just to make sure that the spacing for our this thing is alright, this one looks good, the alignment and everything is fine, and I'm just going to leave it like this. Let's take a moment to see what it looks like in our presentation, in our slideshow. So I'm going to open that, and yeah, this is it, and we are done with this slide. Let's move on to our next slide. So go to new slide, set a blank slide. Let's start with a rectangle. So I'm going to, okay, we're already in home. I'm just going to use shapes, and I'm going to just insert a shape. So I'm going to select no outline, and I'm going to change the height to 17.5. And for the width, we're just going to, let me move this in place. I'm just going to move this till it covers the entire length of our slide. Then we're going to change the color to our brown color. Let's insert an image. So I'm just going to go to insert pictures, and I'm going to select stock images, and I'm going to give this a moment to load. And of course, what we're going to search for is coffee. And I'm going to scroll down to find the image, and this is the image I'm going for. So select this, and I'm going to insert, and I'm going to give this a moment to download. Let's change the height of this image to 15. Next, for the width, we'll just do crop, and I'm going to reduce the width till I have something around, let's say 12 point. Okay, it's currently 12.67, something 12.5, anything 12.5, 12.6, 12.7, something like that. And I'm just going to move this image so that the focus is going to be here, like this. Escape, and I'm going to just bring this corner so it's at the top left corner of our slide. Next, let's insert another image. So I'm just going to another shape. I'm going to go to shape, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle here. Remove outline. This rectangle is going to be white, and I'm going to change the height is going to be 2.6, and the width is going to be 8.7. And I'm just going to bring this, let's say, around here, or maybe let me even move it even more like this. And I'm using control, hold control, and just create a copy of that rectangle and have a second one around here. I'm going to use my arrow key to kind of bring that one down. Change the fill of this one to our brown color. Let's go to insert text box, and let's move to the next item, which is coffee culture. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to just draw around here, and I'm going to paste it. Select the entire text box, change it to our heading text, and I'm going to change the size to 44. Color is going to be white, and let's increase the width of this, and I'm going to just bring it around here. We might still move it, but for now let's just have it here. So I'm just going to create another copy, and I'm going to change this to Georgia. Size is going to be 20. Let's go and grab our text. I'm going to go here, copy our text, select everything there, and then paste. I'm just going to extend this a bit. So select the entire text box and make it a bullet point. So for this tree under coffee rituals vary globally. This Turkey, Italy, and Japan, we're going to select all three, tab. And finally, let's change the line spacing to 1.5. And I'm just going to maybe extend this a bit like this. Let me just make sure, okay, our text are aligned to the left, and I'm just going to maybe move this down like this. Let's say something like this. Why not? Let me move it to the right. So I'm going to have this. Let's look at it in the slideshow. I'm going to open this, and yeah, this is the slide for coffee culture, and we're done with this. Let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to once again go to new slide, and we're going to create a blank slide. Let's start with a text. So I'm just going to go to insert and text box. I'm going to go to my notes, copy the title for this particular slide, and I'm just going to paste this here. Let's change the font to Chambéry Super Display, and I'm going to change this to 44, the size to 44. I'm just going to increase this so that we have this. Next, let's insert, maybe I should move this. I'm going to insert a shape. So I'm already in home. I'm just going to go to shapes, and I'm going to rectangle, and I'll just draw one here. Remove the outline, change the width to 20, and we are going to change the fill to this brown color and just extend the height till it covers the entire height of our slide. Let's insert another rectangle. So I'm just going to go to shapes, rectangle, and just around here I'm going to insert another one. Remove the outline, change the fill to white. The height is going to be this is almost 1.5, and the width is going to be 9.5, and just move it here. Next item is going to be an image, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab my image, which is going to be this one, and I'm going to import it. I'm going to change the height to 10.75. Let's move this here, Let me just kind of figure out where I'm going to place this. Let's see about here. This I'm going to move, let's say like this. I'm just going to select two of them and just like maybe move it a bit, and maybe even to the right. Let's kind of, we'll figure out where everything goes eventually. This text, instead of aligning it perfectly, I'll much prefer if the actual text was aligned to the image. So I'm going to move this text box till I have something like this. So I'm just going to hold Control and grab a copy of this text, and I'm going to bring it here. Let's change the color to white. Let's change the text to Georgia. Let's change the size to 20. Now let's go to our notes, grab the remaining text, copy it, going to come here, and we're going to paste it. And select the entire text box. Let's make this a bullet points, change the line height to 1.5. And now we can now extend this to, let's say something like this. And I'm just going to maybe move this around here. Let me see. Maybe I'm using my arrow key to kind of move it, or maybe I should have left it in its former position. That actually looks better. So yeah, this is what we have. Let's look at it in the slideshow, and I'm just going to open this, and this is the slide for the economic importance of coffee. We're done with this. Let's move on to the next slide, which is the second to the last slide, and as usual, new slide, insert a blank slide. Let's start with a shape. So I'm just going to go to shapes, rectangle, draw a rectangle, remove the outline. Shape fill is going to be a brown color. I'm going to bring it here. Let's change the height to 17.5, and the width is going to be 13.5. Now I'm going to just move this in. Let me use my arrow key to kind of move it around. Okay, next is going to be an image. So go to insert, pictures and stock images, and I'm just going to give this a moment to load. And once again, we're going to search for coffee, and I'm just going to scroll down till this is the image I'm going for. This coffee cups forming a question mark. I'm just going to download that. Let's change the height of this image to 17, and I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to bring it, let's say, around here. Next is going to be another rectangle, so I'm just going to go to shapes, rectangle, and right around here I'm just going to draw this. I'm going to make it no outline, change the fill to white. The height is going to be 4.85, and the width is going to be 2. And I'm just going to move this so right around here, and we're done with this side. Now let's go in and add in our text. So go to insert, text box, and I'm going to go to my notes, and this is fun facts about coffee, and I'm just going to draw this here, paste. Going to select the entire thing, change it to our heading text, which is Chamberi Super Display, and the size is going to be 44. Let's increase the width of this so that all the words are going to fit in our text box, and I'm going to move it here. So PowerPoint is kind of indicating here. Let's leave it here for now. I'm going to just create a copy of this text box and change this one to Georgia, size is 20. Let's go to our notes to grab our text. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to come back here, select everything, then paste. Select the entire text box, make it a bullet point, and then change the line height to 1.5. Let's increase the width of this so that we'll have maybe something like this. I'm just going to select both of them, and I'm going to move this to in, just to kind of maybe balance things out. Let me just group this, and I'm going to go to arrange and align middle like this. All right, we're done with this. Let's see it in the slideshow and open this. Yeah, this is our slide and we're done with this one. Let's create our final slide. So I'm just going to go in and create a new slide. Let's start with our first image. I'm going to grab this image and I'm going to bring it in. The width is going to be 21.23 and I'm going to bring it here. And now I'm going to use crop. Let me zoom out and just crop it to the height of our slide, and I'm going to move this coffee cup a bit to the top. Escape, and we have that. This next part we're going to use a shape. So go to shape, insert shapes, and I'm just going to insert a rectangle. This rectangle, I'm going to make the height 9.29 and the width is going to be 12.2. And I'm just going to bring this here, and I'm also going to create a copy and bring this here. So I'm going for a specific measurement. I want the spacing to be as close, just really neat like this. That's why I'm using rectangles instead of just cropping the images, because this makes it easier. So let's start with this image. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to select this. Let me just reduce the size and bring it here, and I'm just going to align it here. So what I'm going to do is select the rectangle and that image, and I'll go to either pick shape format. It should be shape format. I'll go to intersect, and I have this. Let's do the same for the other image. I'm going to grab this image, bring it in. Let me bring this in, and I'm going to reduce this. Let me see till we have something like this, and I'm going to select the rectangle and the image, go to shape format, and then intersect. So I can now come here, go to picture format, crop, and I can realign this image, and let me have this here, select this one, same thing with this, crop, and I'm going to move this, and yeah, we have this. Next, let's insert a rectangle. So I'm just going to go to, I'm already in home. I'll just go to shapes and I'll just select a rectangle, and I'm just going to draw one right over here. Set the outline to no outline, change the fill to white. Let's change the dimensions of this rectangle, and the height is going to be 8.5 and the width is going to be 17.85. I'm just going to leave it here for now. When we're done, we'll position it properly. So I'm going to create a copy of this rectangle. You can use Ctrl D, but I'm just going to hold Ctrl and just drag it, and I've created a copy. This rectangle, the height is going to be 3.8 and the width is going to be 0.5. Now I'm going to change the fill to our brown color. And I'm just going to grab it and position it around here, so it's at the center and also the middle. Its center is at the edge, left edge of the rectangle, and the middle for both rectangles align. Let's insert a text next. So I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to select text box. Going to go to my notepad and I'll copy the title, which is conclusion, and I'm just going to bring this in and I'm going to paste. Let's change the font to Jamberry Super Display. Size is going to be 40. And I'm just going to increase the width of this till it fits. Now I'm going to grab this text and I'm going to move it like here, like this. Let's insert the line. So let's go to shapes, select the line, and I'm holding shifts while I do this so that the line is perfectly straight. And I'm going to insert a line. Go to outline, change the outline to this brown color. The height is going to be 7. Now select this rectangle, select this line, go to align middle, and I'm just going to use my arrow key to move this very close to the conclusion text. Finally, let's create a copy of this text. So I'm going to use control and just bring a copy of this here. Let's go to home. I'm going to change the font to Georgia and the size is going to be 18. Next, let's go and grab the remaining text. I'm going to copy it and I'm just going to select everything here and then I'm going to paste, and I'm just going to increase the width of this till it fits like this. Select the rectangle, select the text, go to arrange and then align middle, and I'm just going to select all elements including this rectangle and I'm going to group it, and I'm just going to move it to the center. Well, not quite, remember that rectangle is there, so it's going to mess with the alignment, so I'm just going to figure out the center, then just move it like this. Let me just move it up a bit. Let's see. Yeah, that looks fine. And we're done with this slide. Let's just look at it in the slideshow. Yeah, this is the conclusion slide, and we're done with the presentation. Now we can move on to transitions and animations. For the entirety of our presentation, we're going to use one transition. So I'm just going to go to the top of our slide and I'm going to go to and I'll just go to the transitions tab. We're going to use fade, and the duration is currently 00.70. I'm going to increase it to 1, then apply to all. So now we have this fade transition in all our slides, and I can just check it. So yeah, this is what we have. Now I want to add animations to our text. What we're going to do is go to our animations tab and I'm going to select this and I'm going to make it float in, and the duration is currently 1. If you want to reduce it or increase it, you can do that, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. So the start is going to be with previous, and this one as well is also going to be floating, but this time the start is going to be after previous. Let's move on to the next one. This one is going to be floating as well, and the start is going to be with previous. Let's animate this one too. So click on this text box, floating, and go to this effect options and make it by paragraph. And yeah, let's make this after previous. Now they will come in one after the other. Let's move on to the next one. Let's select this heading and make it float in, and start is going to be with previous. Let's select this one to select this, float in, make the effects by paragraph, and finally let's make this after previous. Yeah, let's move to the next one. Same thing, we're just, oh, this one is a group. I'm just going to ungroup it, and I'm going to select this and I'm going to make it float in. This is going to be with previous, and I'm going to select this paragraph, make it float in as well, change the effect to by paragraph, and finally set the start to after previous. Let's move on to the next one. Just like we've done before, let's ungroup this. I'm going to select the title, float in, change the start to with previous, and this one too, we're going to make it float in, and the effect is going to be by paragraph, and we're going to change this to after previous. Next one, same thing as we did. If you want to go ahead and try it yourself, you can just try applying it by yourself, but I'm just going to do it one by one in case you want to see it. This is going to be with previous. Select this, floats in, the effect is going to be by paragraph like that, and the start is going to be after previous. Next slide, number 7, we're going to do the signs of coffee. This is going to be float in, and I'm going to make this with previous. Select this, floating also, make it by paragraph, and let's make this after previous. Select this one too, make it float in. Start is going to be after previous. Oops, I need to figure out, do it properly, if not the effect won't work as I want. Float in, then go to the effects, make it by paragraph first, and then we can now go to the start and make it after previous. So it's with this first, then this one, then this one. Next slide, I'm going to select this one, make it float in, and I'm going to make this with previous, and select this one too, make it float in, go to effects by paragraph, and I'm going to make this after previous. Slide 9 starts with this one, make it float in, make it time, this starts with previous, select this, and we're going to select float in and make the effects by paragraph, and the start is going to be with previous. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to select this, going to right click, I'm going to ungroup. Let's start with this. I'm going to make it float in, and it's going to be with previous, and this one we're going to make it floating also, change the effect options by paragraph, and we're going to make this after previous. I think I just noticed something wrong with it. Sorry about that. The challenges should be under this, so I'm just going to use tab to realign that. Sorry about that. So okay, we're done with this. I'm going to go to the final one. We're going to select this. Let me ungroup this first. I'm going to use escape, select this, make it float in, make it the timing with previous, select this one. This one we're just going to do floating, and timing is going to be after previous. And yeah, we've applied all our animations and transitions. Now let's go to our slideshow and see what it looks like. Okay, we have our first slide. Let's move on to the next slide, and I'm using my arrow keys, and every time I click on my arrow, we're going to move on to the presentation. I know that there are a lot of animations going on as you're going through, but remember, when you're presenting, you're not going to be presenting at this speed. So even though it looks like a lot in one presentation, you're going to be, when you're presenting, there's going to be time in between each slide, so it's not going to be too overwhelming. But yeah, the timing of this, I'm pleased with the timing and every other thing. Again, at the end of every video, I'll always encourage you, go ahead and try it. This change things around, change the colors, and just in case I didn't mention it, I'm going to mention it again. Even if I did, this is not a presentation for coffee specifically. Just think of it like a typical PowerPoint template. So example, if you use the default template in PowerPoint, I try to create my presentation similar to what you see as the Microsoft defaults. You can get creative if you want, but I tend to take inspiration from actual PowerPoint presentation provided by Microsoft themselves. But this is a blank slate. Treat it as such, change it to whatever you want. You can use it for projects, you can use it for whatever other subject you want to present on. Maybe you want to present on food or tourism or whatever you need your presentation for. But this is a blank single subject PowerPoint presentation. So change this to fit whatever subject you are presenting on. But yeah, that's it. We have come to the end of this presentation as well as this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.